What's going on, everybody? My name is Garrett and I am starting a channel. Many of you watching probably already know who I am and have met me previously, but I've decided to start a channel and just start filming my journey, you know, with the cars and, you know, through the rest of my experiences and everything like that. Because I mean, why not? You know, I just prefer to share, you know, a good bit of my experiences with everybody and maybe help a few people along the way, you know. At the end of the day, that's what all this stuff's all about. So before we run out of daylight here, I will find a spot and I will introduce you to myself and my car. So give me one moment, we will be right back. All right, boys, so as I told you, I am Garrett. This is my 2003 Nissan 350Z. It's been a ton of fun. I've owned the car for just about a year now. I bought it in February of last year. And we can go ahead and talk about the engine. Went ahead and popped the hood. Alright, so this, if you don't know, the 03 model is the DE motor, which is what most people would say is the worst. But that's okay, because we were broke, and that's the way of the road sometimes. So, I guess you could say the engine is technically full bolt-on. Whenever people ask, that's what I say, just because it's easier to say rather than explain everything. There's, you could say full bolt-on minus headers, if you wanted to be technical about it, which I guess is not full bolt-on. But that's just easier to say. So it's got the kinetics intake manifold, plenum spacer, bigger throttle body. Sorry about that. And the and a cold air intake. Well, we'll say hot air intake. And no headers. It is tuned on 93. It is an old Cobb tune. It runs great. Absolutely phenomenal. Have had absolutely minimal issues with the car. I love it. I've had a great time with it. It is a 6-speed manual. Gotta have that, very important. That was probably the one most important thing on my list when I was shopping for one of these, because it is not the same without it, I'll tell you. You have to get that 6-speed. So outside of the engine, what's done to the exterior, I've got this here. I replaced it with this carbon cover. Whenever I bought the car, there was one on it, a little thing on it just like that, but it was black and it didn't do anything, and neither does this. But the black one was all cracked and faded, so I bought the carbon one. These bolts, screws are rusting. There's some love I could give to it, a little bit of love. I did these badges here, I did the front lip, I did the headlights and the clear side markers, which look phenomenal together. That's probably my favorite mod, honestly, is those two. It is on Odahan Reps DS08, I believe. I've got an 18 by 9.5 in the front and an 18 by 10.5 in the rear. It fills out okay. I could use a slight roll in the rear and a little bit of a spacer to get some better fitment out of it, but overall it's not too bad, not enough to bother me super bad. So I've got these fake behind carbon door covers. They fit like junk, absolutely garbage. The only reason that I continue to keep them on the car is because the clear coat on the mirrors was absolutely toast. So even though it's some garbage fake carbon, it still looks better, and it fools some people. But we can rock with it, you know. We'll be okay. I guess it could be worse, but we'll be all right. So the car is lowered, obviously. It is not on coilovers, actually. It is on springs. I believe they are iBox springs. It was on springs when I got the car, and I liked how it sits, so I didn't see any sense in going ahead and buying the coilovers. It is pretty low. It's not stupid low, you know. We're not all stanced out or anything, but it's certainly low. Have a hard time with plenty of speed bumps, trust me. So if we go down to the brakes, it's actually not stock, surprisingly. When I bought the car though, it had slided rotors on it. They look great, they stop great, look way better than stock. That is 100% for sure an absolute must on these 350Zs. The brakes are garbage, if you didn't know. The exhaust I have test pipes on it, so it is catless, and I have the Z1 Y pipe into the ISR GT single exit exhaust. I think it sounds fantastic. I think a lot of these, you know, start to get super raspy and super ugly. You know, the Tomei swag is super sick and all that, but I don't know that it's for me. I don't know that the sound is for me. You know, I prefer a little bit of that more modest, deep tone. I say that my car is still stupid loud, but whenever I'm out at meets and, you know, around other Z's and everything, it makes it feel very quiet, to be honest with you. So I did do these badges here. These actually came on the car. The tail lights, I would love to buy a stock set and open them up and make a nice set of clears, because that would look absolutely killer on this. So I got the rear windshield wiper delete. I believe that's about it. The paint, it is Brickyard red, if those of you watching don't know. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous color. We're running out of daylight here, so this lighting doesn't exactly capture it as I'd like. It's got a really nice red flake under it. It's super gorgeous. It gets a ton of attention for a lot of people that don't already know what it is. You know, they absolutely love it. I hear great things about it all the time. Of course, it makes me feel good. So let's go to the interior. So like I said, it is a 6-speed manual. This steering wheel here is, I got off a guy on Marketplace. It is just a rewrapped leather OEM wheel. I kept my airbag and everything like that, but this wheel looks fantastic, especially on these red seats that I actually got not too long ago. I got super lucky and found them off of a junkyard car and pulled them off along with fresh door handles, because I had black ones on here, and the clean chrome, silver, whatever you want to say, just looks absolutely 100 times better. I would say the only downside about my car really is the tan interior. It doesn't bother me too much, but it sure would be a lot cleaner if it did not have tan interior, but that's all right. I did do these gauges here. I'm sure any Z guys have seen or know about these gauges already. I've had them for about 7 months. Honestly, during the day, they're bearable, but they're not that great. But at night, I will say they look absolutely sick, if you ask me. I will say these work great. They were kind of a pain to wire up, but they weren't too bad. I definitely recommend anybody doing it. You know, anywhere you can learn, you know, anything else about cars or wiring or anything you're not comfortable doing, I recommend trying it, because that's what I did. I just full sent, and it was a pain in the ass, but we got it done, and now I know. So I get that from it. These stopped working. I had the blue ones to match. So they still match, but these don't light up. I mean, I say they stopped working. Like the gauges themselves work. Because they're just it's just an overlay kit. But those don't typically work. For those of you wondering, this is Rufus. Dap him up every time before you drive. Apple CarPlay, Boss head unit. Unfortunately, sound system is stock. So that is just a small introduction of my car. And like I said, I wanted to start the channel just to film something, just something to do. You know, I've always thought about creating content and starting and getting into it, but I never had the nuts to do it. So kind of just winging it and figuring things out, and hopefully have fun with it, hopefully meet some new people along the way, and hopefully learn and help other people learn as well, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, guys. So thank you for watching.